Hey guys, Kentucky is expected to re-sign Deron Rippey Jr. this week. Is he a top recruit for the Wildcats after all? Let's take a look at this news. Deron Rippey Jr.'s name is once again making the rounds in college basketball circles, and expectations are high in Lexington. The five-star point guard in the class of 2026, currently one of the most sought-after prospects in the country, is expected to receive another investment this week from the Kentucky coaching staff, led by Mark Pope. This move isn't random. He's an impactful recruit, capable of altering the program's future and further cementing the Wildcats' new era. Pope, accompanied by his assistants Jason Hart and Alvin Brooks, visited the player's home last Thursday, a clear demonstration of the priority Rippey has become. And the visit won't be his last. Kentucky plans to visit the point guard school, a storied Blair Academy in New Jersey, between Tuesday and Wednesday, reinforcing its tone of urgency and interest. The message is straightforward. Rippey is a talent the university doesn't intend to let slip away. The player himself had already stated in July, in an interview with KSR, how much he sees Mark Pope as a unique coach. For Rippey, the Wildcats coach is a point guards coach and a true basketball strategist, someone he identifies with both in terms of his game vision and leadership skills. This praise is no small feat, especially coming from an athlete who sees himself as an elite point guard with quick thinking and the ability to think the game through at high intensity. This harmony between playing style and coaching philosophy is one of the factors that could weigh in Kentucky's favor in this recruiting race. The competition, however, won't be easy. Rippey has already visited Miami and North Carolina and has official commitments with top programs like Alabama, Texas, Syracuse, Duke, Tennessee, and NC State on his calendar before arriving in Lexington in early October. Still, Kentucky's declared interest in the athlete and the aggressive approach of Pope and his staff put the Wildcats in a prime position. On the court, Rippey possesses attributes that justify national attention. Ranked as the 13th best prospect in the country by the Rivals industry ranking, he is considered the second best point guard and 8th best overall talent in the 2026 class. His skill set is complete. Evolving shooting, the ability to organize offense, above-average vision, and a remarkable basketball IQ. Furthermore, according to the player's father, there has been notable progress in his defense and maturity as a leader, characteristics that reinforce his competitive profile. This competitiveness, in fact, is the key word that helps explain the interest from major universities. Rippey is not just a talented point guard. He's someone who seeks to measure his strength against the best. And this spirit speaks directly to the high-pressure environment Kentucky offers. For a program undergoing a rebuild under Mark Pope, landing a recruit of this caliber not only adds technical quality, but also sends a clear message nationally. The Wildcats remain a prime destination for top high school basketball talent, amid the natural uncertainties of the recruiting process. One thing is certain: the presence of Deron Rippey Jr. in Kentucky's orbit is a positive sign. Pope shows he's willing to compete at all levels, keeping the program's tradition alive and projecting a future of prominence. If Rippey decides to don the blue and white, it will be a major achievement for Pope. In a season marked by challenges in the passing game, the Kentucky Wildcats now face a decisive moment at quarterback. Mark Stoops, always measured in his statements, made it clear that he is not yet ready to name a starter between Zach Calzada and Cutter Boley, but he also did not hesitate to express his confidence in the young freshman Hodgenville to play a significant role in the coming games. The decision reflects not only the current circumstances, such as Calzada's shoulder injury, but also the potential Stoops sees in Boley as a central piece of the program's future. The situation is emblematic of Stoops' philosophy, balancing the immediacy of the team's needs with the development of young talent. while Calzada, a senior transfer from Incarnate Word in his 7th year of eligibility, brought experience and stability to the offense for much of the season. His recent injury opened the door for Boley to demonstrate his worth. In the chaos of the final minutes of the loss to Ole Miss, the freshman took the field and demonstrated resilience, combining short passes and mobility on the ground to rack up 38 passing yards and 14 rushing yards. While the numbers weren't spectacular, they were enough to catch Stoops and the fans' attention. The Kentucky coach has been careful to avoid placing too much pressure on Boley. His words clearly caution against exaggerating expectations for any player, especially a quarterback, whose position naturally attracts the spotlight. However, Stoops' excitement about Boley's progress is evident. He describes the young man as someone who embraces the situation, aware he still has much to learn, but carrying with him the necessary tools to thrive within the offensive system. This description echoes inspiring examples like Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, two quarterbacks who began their college careers with struggles but eventually evolved into central figures in the NFL. Boley's journey to this point has been a roller coaster of ups and downs. His debut last year in Gainesville was a bit of a struggle, with 0 completions on 6 attempts and 1 interception. However, he quickly showed resilience, leading a convincing victory over Murray State with 130 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. Against Texas, then ranked 3rd in the country, he delivered a solid performance, completing efficient passes for 160 yards. His debut in the playoffs against Louisville, while disappointing, served as another valuable lesson in his journey. Stoops sees these experiences as crucial to Boley's growth. He emphasizes that the young quarterback knows the offense much better now and is more prepared thanks to the repetitions and time in the system. This optimistic view is shared by many within the program who see Boley not only as a talented player but also someone willing to embrace the learning process. For Stoops, quarterback development doesn't happen overnight. It's a continuous process that requires patience, dedication, and opportunities to make mistakes and learn. The upcoming game against Eastern Michigan represents a crucial opportunity for Boley to prove his worth. Stoops has already assured him that he will play a significant role regardless of whether he is officially named the starter. This decision reflects both the coach's confidence and the need to evaluate the rookie in real game situations. With the schedule advancing and SEC matchups becoming increasingly challenging, Kentucky needs a quarterback who can elevate the offense, and Boley could be that key. However, Stoops' caution about declaring Boley the outright starter is also understandable. Zach Calzada remains an important part of the team, and ensuring he receives the necessary support while dealing with his recovery is crucial to maintaining the team's unity. Furthermore, placing all the responsibility in the hands of a rookie can be risky, especially in a program seeking to build long-term consistency at the same time. Stoops is aware that the time to gamble on Boley may be approaching. The Kentucky coach often talks about the process of building a competitive program, emphasizing that small changes can lead to big results over time. Giving Boley the opportunity to lead the offense, even if gradually, is part of that vision. He's not promising an NFL MVP candidate, but he's betting that the investment in Boley can pay significant dividends in the future. For Kentucky fans, this situation is a mix of anxiety and hope. Would you bet on the young man? Still speaking of football, home defeat has become a bitter routine, with 8 consecutive losses in conference play at Kroger Field. And this naturally increases the pressure on Mark Stoops and his coaching staff. Yet, amid this challenging scenario, the program finds a fulcrum that could serve as the key to balancing the scales: the running game, the strength of the run. Often a silent foundation of competitive teams, is beginning to show clear signs of identity in Lexington. Newcomers Dante Dowdle and Seth McGowan, transfers who arrived with high expectations, quickly showed they can be more than temporary solutions, They are solidifying themselves as protagonists. In just 2 games against top-tier defenses, one ranked among the 70 best in the country, Toledo, and another in the top 10 nationally, Ole Miss, the duo produced numbers that not only attract attention, but also project an immediate impact on the future. Together, they average 178 rushing yards per game, sustaining an attack that, despite its inefficiency in passing, remains competitive thanks to its consistency on the ground. The statistics leave no room for doubt. Both Dowdle and McGowan exceed the 5-yard mark per attempt, a rate that highlights not only their individual talent, but also the growing cohesion of a rebuilding offensive line. Their success rate of over 45% on runs and positive EPA rates per attempt reinforce the idea that Kentucky does indeed have 2 NFL-caliber running backs on its roster. If they maintain this pace, both are on track for a 1,000-yard season, a rarity in modern college football. Just remember that last year, only Ohio State managed that feat, and it took 16 games to do so. History is also on the Wildcat side. The most attentive fan remembers 2016, when Boom Williams and Benny Snell Jr. wrote one of the program's most memorable chapters by jointly breaking the 1,000-yard barrier in a campaign marked by physical strength and their ability to dictate the pace of games on the ground. Now, Dowdle and McGowan carry echoes of that past, with the potential to become Kentucky's new legendary duo at the position. The SEC, so competitive in the running game, hasn't seen anything like it since 2018, when Dandra Swift and Elijah Holyfield did the same for Georgia. The challenge from here on out is to transform consistency into explosiveness. While the team has already proven it can advance efficiently and stay ahead of the currents, it still needs to turn those runs into game-changing plays. Kentucky is among the worst in the country at creating long runs. Only 7 have gone over 10 yards. So far, this detail could be the next step in the evolution, the point that separates a competent offense from a truly feared one. During his time in Lexington, Mark Stoops built a reputation for getting the most out of his units, even in difficult situations. Now, he appears to have found a core in his backfield capable of carrying the team through a time of uncertainty. The game against South Carolina, on the road at the end of the month, looms as a turning point. It will be a chance to prove that this ground-based identity can sustain victories in tough SEC games. Football is often about finding strength where few see it. And if Kentucky's aerial attack is still searching for answers, the ground game already offers one. The certainty that Dante Dowdle and Seth McGowan can be not only the foundation, but the difference that transforms a shaky season into a breakthrough campaign. Share your thoughts. I'd love to hear your comments.